Still Wakes the Deep is a recent horror game that takes inspiration from real-life events as well as many of the movies that they openly discuss during various interviews. It takes place in an oil rig, which is a rather interesting choice for a game to take place in. And I'm glad they did it because it worked perfectly. This game has very positive reviews on Steam, as it should have, because the story of it is very good, which is kind of rare these days for horror games. I'm looking at you, Silent Hill. But without further ado, hit the subscribe button if you like these kinds of lore and story videos, and let's get started. The story takes place during Christmas time on 18 December 1975, and it starts off with the main character, Us, named Kaz, reading a letter. It's a rather sad one from his wife, Suze. Kaz had to work in the oil rig so that he could provide for his family, but to do that he had to sacrifice his time with them, as working in an oil rig would require him to stay away from home for months at a time. In the letter, Suze said that she needed him home. Their daughters needed him home. It was taking a toll on their family. Suze also said that she loved him, but she was tired from living alone, not having him there, and said that she won't wait forever.
I love you. But I won't wait forever. Suze.
As he was finishing up, he was called to have breakfast in the canteen. As we explore the rig while going down to get breakfast, we can see that the rig is in a bad shape. There were safety concerns all around. In one of the cabins of another member of the crew, he had a letter from the workers' union, which stated the concerns for the safety in the rig. We also talked to Finlay, who was fixing the pipe. She confirms the accusations that the ship was falling apart. Pipes leaking here, something else broken somewhere else.
Kaz,
I'm alright. What are you doing up there?
pipe's leaking. If it's not one thing, it's the other. See this whole rig? It's a pile of shite. It's falling apart.
She also introduces us with another character in the story, the Capitan of the ship, Rennick. He oversaw the whole operations in that rig and was angry at us because of a letter he got that morning. We then finally arrive at the canteen and talk to various characters. It looked like Kaz is liked by most of the crew members. As we were getting ready to take our breakfast, we got called by Rennick, who seemed to be in a very bad mood. He orders us to come to his cabin immediately. We comply and head to his office without even having breakfast. We also get some information about the trouble Kaz was in with the feds.
You heard from Suze?
She's talking about divorce.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kaz. She'll come around.
Not if I get to jail, she won't.
Well, maybe you could have considered that while you were battering Billy Chamberlain's head in. And there he is. Floats like a butterfly, stings like a bee, and swears like the devil himself. Listen, mate, even if it is the police, maybe it's best to just go back and face it, yeah?
I don't know, Roy.
When we reached the bossman's cabin, he was furious. During our meeting with him, he was interrupted with a call from the drilling crew saying that there was a problem with the area. It did not feel right, but Rennick ignored every bit of warning. He said that if they don't start drilling, he would go down himself to do it. And so, fearing his wrath, the drilling crew started drilling. And that's where the problem begins. After the call, we got fired because the police came onto his ship inquiring about us. He told us to pack our things and leave on the chopper immediately. As we made our way to the helipad, the drilling machine hit something terrible enough to make the whole ship tremble, and explosions going off. One of the crew members was working right on the edge of the ship. When the ship shook, he fell right through, right into the deep sea. We tried to save him, but another explosion threw us into the sea as well. Because of plot armor, we were saved. Unfortunately for the other guy, they could not find him. After waking up and regaining consciousness, we get to see the wrecked condition the ship was in after the explosions. There were massive cracks in the rig, people were scrambling. We get to see more of where Rennick chipped out, as there was a person who got stuck in the diving pod, panicking because he could not get out. As we make our way through, we find ourselves in front of the drilling machine, which had something latched onto it. At this point, Rennick was doing damage control. All the members were in panic mode, but Rennick was more concerned that this delay might set him back some few bucks. He said that it was only a minor drilling issue and there is nothing to worry about.
Further information, this is a temporary drill issue.
Drill issue? Jesus Christ.
He said that everything would be in order and everyone would get back to work after it is finished. After making our way out of the place, we ventured into a water tank room. There we get the first glimpse of the monstrosity that we have to face in the game. We also find Douglas, one of our friends and crew members, dead. Going further, we find Finlay, who says that we need to go through the flooded water tank room to reach accommodations where we were headed. Finlay said that Gibbo, another friend of Kaz, has been turned into something terrifying and warned us to stay away from him and keep quiet. Keeping that in mind, Kaz journeys through the treacherous corridors of the rig and finally reaches accommodation room. He had hoped to find others in the quarters, exiting the ship along with them, but he could not find anyone. Suddenly, he hears the phone ringing. When he picked up the phone, on the other side was O'Connor, who sounded like he was panicking, not knowing what to do in a situation like this. It's understandable, as this was no ordinary situation. It was something paranormal going on a killing spree.
You have to go through accommodation. It's all blocked. Do you hear me? O'Connor!
As they were talking, the phone suddenly gets disconnected. Kaz then goes on to find more survivors. As he makes his way through, he hears Trots screaming from the other side of a locked door. A shining light was coming through the window. After a while, there was silence.
Trots! Trots! Trots, is that you? I can't hear you, man. Open the door. Trots, the door's blocked. I can't get to you. What's up, wee man? Are you hurt? Jesus Christ.
Suggesting that his friend might have met a fatal ending. These two events shocked Kaz. He was having a completely normal day, and in a span of a few hours, his whole life turned upside down. Trying to find others and also his good friend Roy, he makes his way to the canteen where he finally meets him. He was unharmed but was scared hearing all the screams and voices from the rig. He was about to lock himself in the kitchen with all the food. Kaz said that they had to get out of the rig and escape. Everyone is getting killed. Kaz asked Roy to lock himself up while he makes sure that the road is clear to the lifeboats. He was sure that Rennick still might not be satisfied that the issue was severe enough to order an evacuation for all the workers. As he makes his way through to the lifeboat, we see something that is growing throughout the ship. It looks like an organism feeding off of the ship and the crew, growing in size as time goes on. Kaz then makes his way to the lifeboat and sees another instance where Rennick cheaped out. The mechanism to lower the boats and use them was jammed and did not work properly. Fortunately, around this time, Rennick calls and tells Kaz to gather all the remaining workers and meet him at the helipad if they want to escape. This gave him hope that they might just survive this horrifying event.
Listen to me, McClary. Get your ass up to the chopper pad, bring anyone else you can find too, and whatever you do, don't touch this stuff all over the bearer.
He then makes his way to the canteen area where he meets up with Roy again, who tells him to go to the helipad while he waits for the others to join. Kaz then makes his way towards the outside of the rig where he finds another worker getting dragged away by an even bigger monster. It seemed like it was talking to itself and looked like it was in pain. As our guy steadily makes his way around the monster, he finds his friend Ines, who tells him that the monster was none other than Muir, another friend of theirs. Kaz says sorry and asks Ines to come along with him to the helipad. Making their way through, the monster saw the pair and chased after them. Running for their lives, they make their way to the elevators, where unfortunately Ines was caught, and just like the other worker, he was swept away as well, essentially acting as bait and clearing the way for us. As Kaz makes his way towards the helipad, his heart sank as Rennick shouted to the pilot to just leave the others behind and make a run for it. Kaz tried to scream and make them stop, but it was too late.
Holy shit! You saw them? They're gone! Get a move on! Archie! Rennick!
We have to give them more time! You told them to come!
What I told them is that we are leaving! And we are leaving! Now! Rennick! I'm right here! Archie, stop! Wait!
Fortunately though, for Kaz, the chopper loses control and crashes right in front of him. This event causes Kaz to pass out, which makes him recall a memory in his dream where he, Roy, and Suze were arguing about leaving the house to go on the rig for a few months. When we finally wake up, we are instructed to start up the generator to keep the rig afloat and keep the power running. So we go on another adventure into the depths. This time Kaz sees his boss being taken over by the monster. It seems like the monster can keep the memories of the body intact. Dodging and weaving, we make a run for it. After escaping, Kaz goes on to the generator room where he meets with Finlay again. She says that there are more things that are needed to be done in order to escape, and so we make our way further down the depths of the rig. There, we find O'Connor stabbed by the creature. In that state, he was hallucinating, thinking of someone named Mary. As we were unable to save him, we left him there.
Man, what happened to you? Go and fetch Mary.
You can hear me, can't you? You understand me? Fucking Jesus. I'm sorry. I can't help you. I'm sorry.
After finishing the work, we went back up and contacted Roy. It seems like Roy was not doing well without his insulin. Kaz then went to the control deck where he met Brody. Brody tells him that they needed to fix the gas leaking as one spark might blow up the entire rig. We are given this new objective, but it goes horribly wrong. He gets chased by Adair, who was another one of the workers on board the rig. Kaz lights up a flare and throws it, which causes Adair to catch fire. This event knocks us out and causes a massive explosion. We somehow manage to survive, and upon waking up, see the massive destruction the explosion caused. We also find notes from Brody and Finlay, who thinks that we have died in the same explosion. In the same note, they say that they needed to meet up and discuss further plans. The meetup was planned at the engineering quarters. We go there and meet Finlay, and soon after Brody arrives as well. This reunion is accompanied by shock of seeing Kaz survive the explosion. After that, they discuss that they needed to loosen up the tension cables, but as Kaz promised Roy that he won't leave him behind, he goes to pick up his insulin and meet Roy at the cabin. Unfortunately, Kaz was too late. He found Roy dead in the same room he left him. Shaken, but still determined to survive this horror, he reminds himself of the work ahead. Finlay calls Kaz and tells him that they needed him and asked him to flood the rig. He did that, causing water and oil to rush inside the rig. After completing the task, Kaz went back up to the control room. Finlay was there in a call with someone and in shock. Kaz took the call and found Brody on the other side. Brody says that he was stuck there and could not get out. He only had a few minutes left and wanted Kaz to stay on the line for his final moments, which is exactly what happens.
I'm still in the pontoons. I've only got a couple of minutes. I can't stop it. The rig's a time bomb now. You understand? One spark and... You need to find a way off.
Just get back up here and we'll work it out, yeah?
I can't do that.
What?
I can't get back up.
Wait, no, wait.
I'm sorry.
Wait, listen.
You're on your own now.
I'll come to you. Alright?
No, you won't. You wouldn't even get halfway to me. The leg's flooded and the gas, it's no possible.
You got your dive gear?
Aye, but
So you can use that?
it's oil, Kaz. There's nothing to be done.
Fucking say that.
I knew the risk when I came down here.
Fuck. Can I lose you as well?
Listen, I'm alright, Kaz. I'm already back on Skye. You've never seen water like that, Kaz. Clear, peaceful. You just let go and everything's fine.
Aye. That sounds beautiful.
You go one day. Alright?
No, fuck that. I'm never swimming again after this.
Kaz, you and Finlay, you could do this, alright? I'm sure she wouldn't do something so stupid.
Brody, you there?
Kaz?
What's stupid? Talk to me.
It's getting higher.
Alright, I'm here, Brody. I'm not going anywhere. Alright, I'm here.
Get him!
Brody. Oh, fuck. Brody. Jesus.
After the call, even Finlay breaks. She rushes to the upper deck with a lighter. determined to blow up the whole rig along with a creature that's been haunting them. As Kaz went behind her to stop her, rubble fell on Finlay, crushing her lower body. Finlay was unable to move but asked Kaz to do the right thing and blow up the rig. She says that they had already been infected by the creature, and even if they managed to escape this, they would take this monster along with them to the lands where his wife and children reside. It would spell disaster for everyone living there. Even if there was a boat coming to save them, it won't be of much help as the monster would infect them as well and find a way to reach the lands. The only way was to burn down and blow up the whole rig. Kaz thinks about his wife and children and knew that to keep them safe, this was the only way through. He took the lighter and did the one thing that could save everyone. After the event, we are taken to Kaz's house where he sees his wife sleeping peacefully. He takes one final look at her, opens the door, and goes into the endless ocean where he finally died. So this was the story of Still Wakes the Deep. It was one of the better stories for this year and was very fun uncovering it. The voice acting and the visuals were equally amazing. Hope you found this one interesting. If you did, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. This was all from me today. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.